Ask Gajanan. Working? Gajanan கிட்ட கேளுங்க.
I can hear but not see அப்படிங்கிறா. Same thing. I can see a black screen. I can hear you, Swamiji, but cannot see.
You cannot see me. That's okay. They can hear me fine.
Black screen மட்டும் தெரியும்.
Very good. This webcast is not working. The temple. I have a class now, so they're trying to put it on, and I don't think it's working. Streaming, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Aruna is there. One second. One. Yeah. You have a number. Okay, okay. I didn't bring my book, Mandukya. But what about you?
No, no, I'll listen. I'll share with somebody else.
By mistake, I bought Taittiriya Upanishad.
Oh.
By mistake, I bought Taittiriya Upanishad.
Oh, okay.
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 Huh?
When I was on YouTube last week, in 10 minutes or so, it would be fine, and then it started circling. So I would have to go out, come back in, then again, in 20 more minutes, it would start circling.
That's disturbing.
That's why it was really,
Yeah. No, nobody else complained to me. Coming? Coming? She says coming.
I did on Facebook Live, I could hear Swamiji, I cannot see him.
You can hear me, right? It's fine. Yeah. As long as they hear me, fine. Okay, come. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Maruthatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutamukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Satchitanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Neelambujasyamalako-malangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasaekacharuchapam Namami Ramam Raghuvamsanatham Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaih Stuštuvagam Sastanubhih Veshema Devahitam Yadayuh Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedah Swasti nastarchyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspati Datatu Om Shanti 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 Metha Suktam Om Yachandasa Vrishabho Vishwarupah Chandopyotyamartat Sambhavuva Samendro Medhaya Sprinoto Amrtasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ मेधा देवी जुषमाणान आगाब्दिष्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्यमाना त्वया जुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम वितथे सुवीराः त्वया जुष्टऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मागतः श्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टच्छित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्व द्रविणो न मेते मेधां म इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विनावुभावा दत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु च या मेधा गन्धर्वेषु च यन्मनः दैवी मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधासुरभिर्जुषताकं स्वाहा आमां मेधासुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगती जगम्य ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सा मां मेधासु प्रतीकाजुषन्तां मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि अग्नितेजो ददातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं ददातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्योभ्राजो ददातु हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Now read the first mantra. Hari Om. Om ityetadaksharamidam sarvam tasyopavyakhanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyatiti sarvamonkara eva yacchanyattrikalatītam tadapyonkara eva. So, sarvam, all mean that which is within time and beyond time, are all onkara. Omiti etadaksharam idam sarvam. Idam sarvam, idam shabda I have explained before. Idam shabdam, aham idam. These are the two shabdas, two words in Vedanta. Aham is I, idam is objective world. That is starting from ahankara onwards. All of them are idam. So this entire creation, by idam shabda indicate that entire creation is sarvam, all. That which is within time, that is why yacha anyat is used here. Yacha anyat. So that which is bhutam bhavat bhavishyatiti, past, present, future. That means time is indicated by that. Now there are, Bhagavan is beyond time, right? That is also indicated by saying yacha anyat. So echanyat, there's something other than that, other than the past, present and future. What is there? Beyond time. And Bhagavan is, Paramatma is beyond time. That is what is indicated by this. And all Omkara. Now Omkara also indicate all the three plus the fourth one. Now that is what it is, this chain of thought that the Rishi is, Mandyukya Rishi is giving us. Say first he gives you a definition of Omkara, then second mantra is going to give you definition of Atma, then he take up Atma Vichara, and through Atma Vichara, Omkara Vichara is done later. So Omkara is connected to Atma. So first he takes up Atma, then he connects Omkara also with that. So Omkara Vichara or Atma Vichara become one. This is how the organization of thought. Then past, present and future, Kalantargatam Vastu. Everything is time bound. So in this Idam Jagate, in this world, everything is Kalantargatam Vastu. They are all time bound. So not only that, Yascha Anyat Trikalatitam, that which is beyond time also, beyond 3 periods of time also, that is also Omkara. So that is what. Now, and presenting this equation means Omkara means all. Not only the time bound, beyond time also. That is Omkara. What is the advantage? By analyzing Omkara, you are indirectly analyzing everything. Omkara Vichara is equal to Sarva Vichara. So the truth of Omkara will become the truth of everything. So this is the advantage of Omkara Vichara. Now you must have heard the story of Lord Ganesha and Subramanya. That fruit Narada gave, and Subramanya went round the world and Ganesha round the parents. So this is the so Subramanya went round to have the Sarva Darshanam. Bhagavan is present in all. That is what. But Vinayaka went around his parents, which is equal to going around the world. So we have a shortcut, Omkara Vichara, that is circling Parvati Parameshwara. So Omkara Vichara Rupena Samasta Prapancha Vicharam. Samasta Prapanchasya Vicharam. Like what Ganesha did. So one Omkara is enough. You don't have to go around the world to experiment everything. It's not necessary. One Omkara. And our rishis, think about it. This one letter, they have compressed so much of everything. Therefore, Upanishad says, Tasya Upavyakhyanam. Its elaboration means analysis is undertaken. Upavyakhyanam. Here the Upanishad introduces the analysis, but the actual analysis comes only after 7th mantra. Now, this much we saw last time. Now comes the second mantra. Sarvam hetat brahma ayamatma brahma soyamatma chatushpad. The second sentence, read any familiarity. Ayamatma Brahma. It's a Mahavakya. Ayamatma Brahma is a Mahavakya. So this Mahavakya comes in this Upanishad. Sarvam Etat Brahma. Etat Sarvam Brahma. That's the idea. The entire universe. That means Kala Antargata, Kala Behirgata. Past, present and future is Kala Antargata, within time. Then Kala Behirgata is beyond time. Based on the previous mantra, the word Sarvam is to be understood within and without time. Beyond time. Now we have a second equation. What was the first equation? Omkara is everything, or everything is Omkara. The first equation. And therefore, inquiry of everything is possible by the inquiry of Omkara. Now, second equation is everything is Brahman. Therefore, Brahma Vicharena Sarva Vicharaha Bhavati. Brahma Vicharena Sarva Vicharaha Bhavati. Previously, Omkara Vicharena Sarva Vicharaha. Vichara means inquiry. Now, what is this Brahman? Upanishad says, I am Atma Brahma. Means self. Atma means self. Means I. I myself is this Brahman. So what is Mahavakya? Jiva Brahma Aikya Bhotaka Vakyam is called Mahavakya. That sentence which gives you identity of Jiva and Brahman. So, aparokshataya upalabhyamanaha. Atma, I am Shabda. I am means indicates I am. So, the Rishi must have said this Atma, like this I am. Atma, I, is Brahman. So, aparokshataya upalabhyamana. That means that which is available for direct experience. Aparokshataya. What is direct experience? Everybody experience I, aham, 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 isn't it? So, ever evident Atma. That means that evident Atma means I is equal to Brahman. So, Brahman and Atma, there is no difference. This is the statement made by the Rishi. Now, he will establish it slowly. That is, these are all statements made. These are all pratitnya. They say it is a pratitnya. Then now, later on, we will elaborate. Now, we have equations. Everything is equal to Brahman. Then Brahman is equal to Atma. And therefore, everything is equal to Atma, the self. Means inquiry into everything can be accomplished through inquiry into Atma. Sarva Vicharaha equal to Atma Vicharaha. And that Atma is myself. I am Atma Brahma. Inquiring into myself, I come to know everything. Therefore, second inquiry is Atma Vicharaha. What a revelation, right? We thought that we are useless, we are limited, we are nothing, we are only confounded in this body, mind, intellect, complex. But now, Upanishad releases you from all that notion. Says, you are Brahman. Brahma Shabda I have explained to you before. Now, first inquiry was Omkara Vichara, even though they looks different, but the destination is the same. Because through Atma Vichara and Omkara, we are inquiring into everything, that is Sarvam. Two methods we are adopting to arrive at the knowledge of everything. So, Sarva Shabda is very important. Knowledge of everything, including time bound, beyond time. So, that is why in one of the Upanishad it is asked, Yasmin Vijñāte Sarvavidam Vijñātam Bhavati. Having known which, everything is as well known. Sarvavidam Vijñātam Bhavati. Don't translate once you know Brahman, you know everything. Not like that. Once you know Brahman, you will know everything as well know. That means a Brahmajnani will not know all the languages. See, he may not know nuclear science. That is not possible, because otherwise even Mukta Purusha also need translator, isn't it? Because he cannot communicate with those people. That our Nisargadatta Maharaj was there. So he spoke only Marathi, no other language. And others came and translated his talks, that is all. So that's why Sarvamidam Vijñānam Bhavati. Literally, if you translate, he knows everything. That's not true. What is that? His knowledge is so high that once you know this, the basic thing, he knows everything. He doesn't have to know anything else. That is the idea. That means completely contented. Omkara Vijñāte sati sarvam vijñānam bhavati. So, Atmani Vijñāne sati sarvam vijñānam bhavati. Omkaratnyaha sarvatnyaha bhavati. Atmatnyaha sarvatnyaha bhavati. These are the points. Thus, the second inquiry is also introduced, and in this second mantra, this sentence, Ayam Atma Brahma, is taken as Mahavakyam. Just as Tattvamasi is occurring in Samaveda, in Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. Prajnanam Brahma is the Mahavakyam occurring in Rigveda, Aitareya Upanishad. Aham Brahmasmi occurring in the Yajurveda, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So, Ayam Atma Brahma is the Mahavakyam occurring in Atharvana Veda, in Mandyukya Upanishad. Mandyukya Upanishad belongs to Atharvana Veda. Now, having introduced these two inquiries, the Upanishad wants to elaborate, but the Upanishad changes the order. Though he talked about Omkara first and Atma second, but he changes the order. There is a reason also, because once he establishes Omkara, then he wants to establishes Atma, then he equates that with Omkara. That is the idea. And now Ayam Atma, he started that actually in the second mantra, Sarvam Yedat Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma, Soyam Atma Chatushpad. So he started his inquiry already with that third line. Soyam Atma Chatushpad. He takes up with Atma Vichara, and this Vichara is introduced in the second mantra itself, saying Soyam Atma Chatushpad. This continue in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh mantras. Seventh mantra is very important because that is where the definition of Atma is given. Antapratnyam nabhaispratnyam nobhayata pratnyam pratnyanaganam Atmopashamam Prapanchopashamam Shantam Shivam Sundaram. All these words are beautifully used. These are all definition of Brahman. That which cannot be indicated, but Upanishad indicates. As I told you, indirectly indicates. That's the language used. Now, the Upanishad introduces Atma as Chatuspad Atma. So, this Atma which we are going to inquire for knowing the truth of everything, this Atma has got 4 padas, Chatuspad. Pada means quarter or leg, that is literal meaning. Here we should understand as facets or expression or aspects, not leg. Don't think that Brahma, Atma is sitting on 4 legs. 4-legged animal. That is what all our symbolism you see. 4 hands. It is equated to that 4 aspects. What are the 4 aspects of Atma? I shall first give you a bird's eye view of how the Upanishad is going to present the 4 aspects of Atma. This is a unique presentation which is not found in any one of the other Upanishads. Because of this alone, Mandukya is deep and significant, and therefore Mandukya appears to be a little tougher also. We will try to simplify the presentation. Now, Vedanta points out that if anything in the creation has to be proved as an existent thing, it should fulfill a particular condition. What is that condition? That thing should become an object of knowledge. Then only you can prove. If a thing is not an object of knowledge, you can never talk about the existence of that object. In Sanskrit we say prameyatvam. Being an object of knowledge to prove its existence, prameyatvam. Pramanam, prameyam, pramata. These 3 you know, right? Pramata is the knower, prameyam is the object, pramanam is the instrument. And what do you mean by the concept of prameyatvam? When I say a thing must be an object of knowledge, what I mean is it must be an object of any one of our pramanam, instrument of knowledge. Like pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, arthapatti, anupalapti. This is condition 1. And second point is, even if a thing is not an object of knowledge, now, at least it must have been an object of knowledge in the past, or at least it should become an object of knowledge in the future, for one pramanam or other. Using the pramanam, it should become an object of knowledge, either it was in the past or in the future, definitely in the present. Even if a thing is not an object of my knowledge, at least it should have become an object of knowledge for someone else. That is also. Somebody or other. It can be even an animal or a plant's knowledge. See, that is why so many things we don't know, but we hear say, isn't it? CNN reports and other reports. And what is that? There is a animal world or something like that, right? Huh? National Geography. You don't know what is happening there in that world. It is amazing how they observe that. It's beautiful study. So like that, somebody's hearsay or somebody's information, paroksha jnanam, this is called paroksha jnanam. Para akshimukhena jnanam. Now, only then you can talk about the existence of that thing. Imagine that there is a thing, but the thing does not have the status of prameyatvam. How can you talk about the existence of such a thing? Means it is not an object of knowledge through any pramanam, nor become an object of knowledge in the past or future, or by some living being in the creation. If there is a thing which is not coming under any of this, then such a thing does not exist. This is the logical conclusion. Therefore, in Shastra, we conclude such a thing do not exist. Therefore, prameyatvam is a condition for proving existence. Number one. Number two, if a thing has to be a prameyam, only when there is a pramata, a knower principle. Therefore, the existence of a prameyam depend upon pramata, knower. An object is an object only when there is a knower of the object. If knower is not there, object has no meaning. Third point, a pramata knower is possible only when I, the conscious principle, choose to know something by employing some pramana or other. So, pramata is important for the existence of object. The pramata's existence is because of consciousness. In waking state, I employ my various pramanas and hence I have waking experience. In dream also, I employ my dream pramanams and choose to know the dream object, I have dream experience. In dream also you create a pramata, you are lying down. Your body is lying down, but in the dream you are traveling. With what? A different body. A dream body is given. Whereas in deep sleep, I don't employ any pramanam and don't choose to know anything, and hence I am not knowing anything in sleep. Therefore, pramata is not an independent entity. Only when I, the conscious principle, choose to know, the knower comes to existence. Thus, the next point is that the knower is also not an independent entity. Pramata is not an independent entity and is dependent on I, the conscious principle. Therefore, the knower also enjoy a dependent status, dependent on me, the conscious being. Prameyam and pramata both are dependent. That is called paratantra satta. There are two things. One is paratantram, another is vastutantram. Independent. Prameya depend on Pramata and Pramata depend on I, the Atma. In fact, both are dependent on me only. Me means Paramatma, Atma. But Pramata directly depend on me and Prameya depend indirectly on me. That's only the difference. Knower and knowable depend on Atma. Once I say both Pramata and Prameyam are dependent on consciousness, we have to recollect the lesson we learned in the previous Upanishad. What is that? Taittiriya Upanishad. In Taittiriya we have seen Panchakosha Viveka. Remember? There we have seen whatever has dependent existence is mithya, having no substantiality on its own. Therefore, Pramata and Prameyam both are mithya, because it is dependable. It is dependent on consciousness. Therefore, that which is dependent on something cannot be real, because they don't have independent existence. Therefore, whatever is mithya is only a name and form, having no independent existence, free from consciousness. Dependent on Satyavastu, Satyavastu, I, the Atma. In fact, I, the Satyavastu Atma, alone appearing as Pramata and Prameyam, with Mithya Nama Rupa. Now this entire Mithya Nama Rupa is divided into three groups. Number one, Mithya Nama Rupa obtaining in the Jagrat Avastha. This is called Sthula Nama Rupa, gross name and form. Then second, Nama Rupa obtaining in dream state, called Sukshma Nama Rupa. Number three, all the namas and rupas are there in potential state, which is called Karana Nama Rupa. That is deep sleep state. In Jagrat Avastha, I, the Atma consciousness principle, put on Jagrat Sthula Nama Rupa, and I appear as Jagrat Prameya and Jagrat Pramata, and I get a new name called Sthula Atma. All this will be elaborated by the Karika Kara Gaudapadacharya, because this is the only Upanishad you will see. All the three states are very well, thoroughly analyzed. Even dream also. Dream is the one first he takes up. First he takes up dream, and then he equates the dream state, dream experience to waking experience. He equates dream, the world, this waking also, nothing but dream. He establishes that. And we will see slowly. These are all step by step he is going. In Swapnavastha, I put on Sukshma Nama Rupa, and I appear as Swapna Pramata and Swapna Prameyam, and I get a new name, Sukshma Atma. In the Sushupti, I put on the Karana Nama Rupa and appear as Sushupti Pramata and Sushupti Prameyam in Karana Avastha. named Karana Atma. In Sushupti there is no pramata because it doesn't see any, there is no object. There is no prameya. But that non-experience is also an experience, right? That's why. Now the question is, who am I? So I put on sthula sharira, sthula prapancha, sthula nama rupa prapancha, sthula prameya, sthula pramata, sthula prameya. Then Sushma pramada, sushma prameya. Then karana pramata, karana prameya. Then who am I? What is my real nature? Am I sthula nama rupa or sushma nama rupa or karana nama rupa? When I look at myself from my own standpoint, I am free from all the three, which is called Turiya Atma. Just to come to that point only, I said so many things. I, which is not from the standpoint of Sthula or Sukshma or Karana or Pramata or Prameya. I am neither knower or known. I am Turiya Atma. Therefore, I have got 4 facets. Sthula Atma is the first pada. Sukshma Atma is the second pada. Karana Atma is the third pada. And Turiya Atma is the 4th pada. So, Soyam Atma Chatushpad. Therefore, I am called Chatushpad Atma. Of these 4 padas, which one is Satyam and which one is Mithya? First, second and third are Mithya because they are associated with Mithya Nama Rupa, and the 4th pada is Satyam. Thus, I have got 3 Mithya padas and 1 Satya pada, and therefore I am called Soyamatma Chatushpad. So this he said, I am after saying I am Atma Brahma, okay. So I am Atma Brahma is established that this Atma is Brahman. Then he said that Atma is Chatushpad. And which is my real nature? The 4th pada. And thereafter, the Upanishad will talk about Sthula Atma, Prathama pada, and Prathama pada will be talked about in the 3rd mantra onwards. Sukshma Atma, Dvitiya pada will be talked about in the 4th mantra. And Karana Atma, the Tritiya pada, will be talked about in the 5th and 6th mantra. See, he uses 2 mantras to explain deep sleep. See, generally we think deeply what is there to explain. You will see. In the 7th mantra, we will get Turiya Atma. Since these 3 avasthas are brought into discussion, this vichara is called Avastatraya Vicharaha. This inquiry has started from the statement Soyamatma Chatushpad. Now let us read the 3rd mantra. Jagaritasthano Jagaritasthanah Behishpratnyah Saptangah Ekonavimshati Mukha Stulabhuk Vaishwanaraha Pratamah Padaha. The first pada is called Sthulatma. It is the name of the I, the consciousness principle. What type of consciousness principle? Not an independent one, but with consciousness seen through the Jagrat Avastha. See, all of you are in Jagrat Avastha, right? Now, in Jagrat Avastha, we are seeing each other. What are we seeing? But when we see each other, our attention is only with the body. But what is that making the body not the head? That part we don't see. That part is totally forgotten. And Upanishad is pointing out to that only. Therefore, the Upanishad says, Jagaristhanaha, waking sthanam, avastha, means consciousness obtaining in the Jagrat avastha. This is not the name of waking state. Jagaristhanam, Jagaritasthanam. It is the name of consciousness obtained in the Jagrat avastha. So, consciousness obtaining in the Jagrat avastha. That is the Jagarita sthane. Jagaritam sthanam yasya atmanaha chaitanyasya saha Jagarita sthanaha. That is the Ulpatti. Means I am not pure consciousness. But in waking state, I am associated with gross name and form, Sthula Nama Rupa, and appear in two ways. Jagrat Pramata, the knower of the Jagrat Prapancha. Number two, Jagrat Prameyam, the knowable principle. Just like in dream, I myself is the subject and the object of the dream world. How consciousness itself become pramata and prameyam. The example is dream. In the dream, you yourself is the pramata and you yourself is the prameyam. And what is it actually? Both are you. Is it not? The tiger that is chasing you is you. And running, that is also you. So the same way in waking also, what I see is prameya. What I am, a seer, seen, both, myself. That is what he is going to ultimately prove. He is going step by step. Jagrat Pramata, the knower of the Jagrat Prapancha, Jagrat Prameyam, the knowable principle. Just like in dream, I myself is the subject and the object of the dream world. The same way in waking state also. I, the consciousness, is the knower principle and knowable principle also. So why are we quarreling with each other? What is there to quarrel? If this idea is understood, I myself is the other person. When am I called pramata? When I, the consciousness associated with the Veshti Nama Rupa, means at the individual level, physical body identification is there, then I am called pramata. When do I become prameya? The knowable. When I become associated with the samashti sthula nama rupa, the macrocosmic name and form at the gross level, I become prameya prapancha. So, Veshti Sthula Nama Rupa Drishtya Pramata, Samashti Sthula Nama Rupa Drishtya Prameya. The I put on these two different dresses. First, we will take up the description of the knower I. Behishpratnyaha. Jagratisthane Behishpratnyaha. In the Jagrat Avastha, when I am associated with the individual name and form, I become the waker. And as a waker, my consciousness turned outward through 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action. Extrovert consciousness. This is a great grand plan. When you put all the pieces together like in a jigsaw puzzle, you will finally know that I am everything. This is the goal. How do I contact the external world? Ekona vimshati mukhaha. Ekona vimshati mukhaha. 19 counters of interaction. 5 jnanendriyani. Through these 5 organs of perception, the world goes inside. I don't go out, but the world comes inside through these jnanendriyas. Then pancha karmendriyas. Through this I react to this world. Output. Jnanendriyas input. Karmendriyas output. So 5 input organs and 5 output organs. And there are pancha pranas, 5-fold physiological system. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samanaha, which are behind the pancha karmendriyani. Now 15. And 5 internal organs, manaha, buddhi, chittam, ahankaraha. Manaha is the emotional principle. Buddhi is the intelligent principle. Chittam is the memory principle. Ahankara is the ego principle. Tattvabodha. Sankalpa vikalpatmika manaha, nischayatmika antakarna vritti buddhi. All that. Totally 19 are there. Through these 19 principles, the pramata, knower, interact with this world prameya. Then the third description of the Jagrat Pramata is Sthula Bhuk. I experience an external world which is gross, made up of 5 gross elements. In the dream object in the world are nothing but my own thoughts. In Swapna we have got Vasanamaya objects. Whereas in Jagrat Avastha we have got Bhautika Vishayas. objects which are born out of 5 elements. All the objects you take up in this world, they are all combination of these 5 elements. They are external objects which I experience in my waking state. Therefore, I am called Sthula Bhuk, gross object experiencer. Time is over. What to do? Started late. Okay. Now we should understand this Jagrat Pramata, Veshti Nama Rupaha. So it is said Behish Pratnyaha, Pramata knower, and it is also identified with the total, and so it is Prameya. Therefore Upanishad says Saptanga Ekona Vimshati Mukhaha. Saptangaha. Sapta Angaha. 7 limbs. I am the consciousness alone with varieties of Nama Rupa appears as this world. Saptangaha Vaishwanaraha. Vaishwanaraha means Virat Ishwaraha with Samashti Nama Rupa. Vishwarupa Ishwara I am. We thought we are in a small little island called body. But here the Upanishad says, you are Virat Rupa. It is not Bhagavan Vishnu showed Virat Rupa. Your own nature is that Virat. This Virat is described in the Chandogya Upanishad as Saptanga Ishvara. So that Saptanga is explained. So Ekona Vimshati understood 19. Then Saptanga 7. Now this is actually the Saptanga is not explained here in this Upanishad, but it is detail given in the Chandogya Upanishad. The Lord with 7 different cosmic limbs. Therefore, I, the pure consciousness, have these 7 limbs in the Prathama Pada. What are they? The head of this Virat is heaven. Eye of this Virat is sun. The breath of this Virat is Vayu. The mouth of this Virat is Agni. See, Agni Devata is presiding deity for speech, you see. That's why you see fiery speech. I fired him, and all that you say. And that is why speaking need a lot of energy. Gurudev used to say 1.5 hours lecture is like going for a marathon. Mouth, Agni, then the body is space. The space is Bhagavan's body. And the bladder is ocean. And Bhagavan's feet is earth. Huh? Huh? Body is space. Because of these 7 limbs, the Virat is called Saptangaha. This is according to Chandogya Upanishad. So this Mandyukya Rishi consider that we have already studied Chandogya. So Mandyukya is the last one actually. See, Ishakena Katha Prasna Mundaka Mandukya Taitreya Aitreya Brihadaranyah Chandokya. So Mundaka comes in between actually in the list. But then Mandukya is taken last actually, after all the text. Then the next one is Brahma Sutra. They will be ready for it. He is called Vaishwanaraha, the one who is Vishwesham Naranam Nayanat, the one who leads all being in different ways according to their karma, or Vishwachasau Naraha, the one who is identified with all jivas is called this cosmic person. Prathama Padaha. The one ocean appearing in different waves. The ocean alone is there. There are no waves separate from ocean. Okay, we'll stop here. Third mantra. Jagadisthano Behishpratnyaha Saptanga Ekona Vimshati Mukha Sthula Bhuk Vaishwanaraha Prathama Padaha. So Atma Vichara is going on. Okay. Atma Shabda Vichara is going on. Om Purnamata Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyade Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Oh, Thursday? I can keep.